Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of FemFlex Friday. I'm here with my co-host Linda Murray today, and we're bringing you a topic which is of a lot of interest. It's been actually of a lot of interest for the last 2 years. And that is the wellness division, especially because we just saw the Olympia happening, the first Olympia for the wellness last year.
First Olympia.
And we want to do a little bit of a hype or, kind of like anticipate what might happen this season. And we have a special guest for you later, but not yet.
Yeah, we won't reveal that yet.
Linda, you know what it just came across to me one day? You know how I was always advocating as a representative of female bodybuilding division that I really love the idea that women's bodybuilding as a body type has a place, you know, on the competitive stage, just like everybody else.
Yes.
So then I made a correlation that actually the introduction of the wellness division 2 years ago in the federation was absolutely a revolutionary thing. And the reason is because we have another body type, right? Because you're always going to have the ladies that have bigger hips, bigger quads, bigger glutes. And all these ladies have been competing in the bikini division, and they never never placed well. And they've always been told, your glutes, your legs, your hips are too wide. You need to go bigger on the upper body. Well, what if these ladies didn't want to get that big? So this body type, which is very, very common in among the women, they didn't have a place to compete. It was very hard for them. So this is what I was like, you know what? If we are, especially at Wings of Strength, we always celebrate the diversity, of course, of the female body. And we've always been advocates of pushing women's bodybuilding division. We are very happy that our sisters in the wellness division,
our sisters in wellness,
have a place to compete.
And I definitely, it was so cool to sit in the audience and watch the wellness division at the Olympia, and the structure as far as the glutes, the quads, the hamstrings, and really watch those ladies work it and identify with their size, because it's like, it reminds me of female bodybuilding. Like, you've
always said that.
Always, and I was just so impressed, and I could, in the way they presented their physiques, the pose from the front where you can see the quadricep, and you could still see the glutes from the front. It's just a powerful legs.
Absolutely. I mean, especially if you think back, like when you were competing, all of those female bodybuilders in their shapes, right? They were the legs, the glutes, not the upper body, but the lower body was resembling very much, wellness nowadays.
Very much wellness. And
back then there was no that shreddedness was not there.
Right.
So I can see how it throws you back to that time.
Yeah. When you look at the wellness division, like you said, it reminds me very much of the first women bodybuilders, because women are strong in the lower parts, right? And to be strong and get a strong upper body, to get chest development, shoulders, where you can see the shoulders and the biceps and the triceps, and this was really impressive because it was very much a reminder of what I had to go through and what all women did in the 80s. It was always, we had those strong legs. We loved training legs. And when I first heard about the wellness division coming on board, and when they described it to me, especially with us, because we weight train, and it's about balance in our organization. And so when I heard of this new division, wellness, where the women would have strong legs, kind of like that Coca-Cola bottle, where we're narrow at the top, small waist, and then the quads. And I thought, well, I was just trying to visualize that. But I feel like, wow, really impressed with this division.
It is a very beautiful and spectacular division.
It is.
And how we used to, we were speculating on how are you supposed to train in order, to keep your legs bigger, your hips, your glutes, to make them bigger. So in the end of the day, which is again it's a sport of genes, right? If you're one of those ladies, those athletes with a build that's like that, no matter what, your lower body is bigger than the upper body.
Right.
Then, as a matter of fact, in the end of the day, all you have to do is not train your upper body as much, and just train your lower body regularly.
Yes.
If you're already genetically endowed, so then you would probably just do sort of exercises just to shape up, right? You don't do bulking exercises if you already have the genes. I know there are a lot of girls who maybe are somewhere in the middle, and they aspire to be that, because honestly, it is an image that is, I think it's very sought after nowadays.
Yeah,
I see it a lot on the internet.
It really is. And that's, again, the phenomena of that. And I have never in my life seen so many beautiful rear ends on women. No, just so shapely. And it's wonderful to see that we are embracing our different structures and physiques. And,
I agree
that's
with
a beautiful thing.
It is absolutely beautiful. So, 2020 saw the introduction of the division, right? Both at the NPC level.
So in 2020, the NPC, thankfully, they decided and recognized, let's introduce wellness. And so wellness was introduced in the NPC and also IFBB Pro League, but no qualifying pros for the Olympia. That happened in 2021. So our first wellness pro, Renee Harshey, and she won the Tampa Pro in 2020. And
so she did. She was the first pro to win on the wellness division.
That's right, and we all had that conversation about.
I know we had her invited. She's always going to have this title for the rest of her life.
For the rest of her life.
How amazing is that?
And at the time, she explained to us that she wasn't qualified. Not qualified for the Olympia, but she is the first wellness pro, and that she would have to compete in 2021 to qualify for the Olympia, the Wellness Olympia. So,
absolutely. I remember we had it at the Romania Muscle Fest. We had it in 2020 at NPC level, and we had it at the pro level, because in 2020 there were only a handful of shows that had the division. I think Tampa was one of them, Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro.
That's right. That's right.
Romania Muscle Fest, there were not a whole lot of them.
That's great. So you had it in Romania.
Yes. We had it in Romania. So that was quite amazing. And we saw last year, we saw our first Olympia, right? The first Olympia for wellness.
Yes, the first Olympia wellness, and it was a great lineup. We had 24 IFBB professional wellness competitors compete on the Olympia stage, and that was like, everybody's really excited about it. So, we'll take a quick break. And when we return, we will continue to talk about this amazing wellness division.
Hi, FemFlex Friday listeners. Are you dreaming of stepping on a bodybuilding stage this year, feeling confident and proud of yourself? We know how hard designing your competition suit can be with the different sizes, fabric, color, crystal combinations, and the crucial back cut decision. With Angel Competition Bikini's experience of creating over 10,000 competition suits, you can trust us to make you your next show-stopping suit. Schedule your free consultation right now to learn the best suit for your physique on stage. We'll go over everything you need to know to stand out in a winning suit. Go to acbikinis.com right now to chat with our amazing suit stylist. You will feel confident on stage.
And we are back on the wellness division. And what a great lineup we had on the Olympia stage. 24 competitors. Let's talk about that top 5. 24
competitors is a lot for the first Olympia ever.
For the first.
Right? So that top 5 was quite amazing, and I would like to also talk to our guest, who's still
Yes,
a secret to you guys about that as well. But we did see 4 Brazilians and an American, which is actually Yarishna is Puerto Rican,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So top 5.
Yeah, it was all international. Like you know how they were saying that this is a division that belongs in Brazil, right? Or it's mainly made up of Brazilians because you know of their genes and everything. But we did see a lot of the Brazilian.
Yes.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of in top 5. But this is catching on, like great numbers in the NPC.
You know, going into the last Olympia in 2021, I thought that Yarishna Ayala is going to get it, right?
We've seen everybody thought that.
We've seen Yarishna battling with Angela Borges earlier in the year. They were talking about they were like the 2 biggest superstars, right, of the division. Angela, I think she won Pittsburgh over Yarishna.
Yes.
Yarishna won.
Was it New York?
I think it was New York. Yes, Yarishna won New York over Angela.
So it was back and forth.
And we were like, it's gonna be between them, you know. So I said that if Yarishna comes in shape, there's no way anybody can beat her with that.
That's right. Because we were really curious. This was like the telltale of all, because based on the way the judges, we wanted to know how the IFBB judges at the Olympia, because the one walking away with that title would be the example for all. This is what the example of wellness is, right?
And we did see Franciel Matos winning that. Like, you know, it was like completely, like Yarishna only got 4th at that show. Isabel Nunes got 3rd, and Julia Kitara got 5th. But of course, everybody knows by now, you know, Yarishna Ayala was a little bit off on her glutes and legs. So she got penalized on that.
Yes, she was, and I'm sure she'll come in tighter. And I'm unsure as far as her conditioning. When she won the New York, was she far off from what she won in New York?
She was in way better condition than at the Olympia.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and that's what I figured. That's what I figured that she was. So she knows what she has to do.
Absolutely, and we are excited to see the next edition, right? In not only that it's coming back to Vegas, the 2022 Olympia, but as the Olympia just announced, wellness division will take place on the main stage as well. Because last year it was the pre-judging and the finals were in the expo area. So this year the finals will be on the main stage, which is beautiful, right? So now all the divisions get the same treatment and consideration.
All 6 of our women divisions will be on the big stage at the Olympia.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so out of that group, when you talk about qualifications, because now they're all preparing, and some of them started really early in preparing to be on that Olympia stage. So we know for a fact that the top 3 at the Olympia will automatically, they advance and qualify for the Olympia. And the top 3, Franciel, Angela, and Isabel will all guaranteed to go to the Olympia. And then we have competitors that you have to come home with a win. First place at the pro shows, and we have 32 wellness IFBB professional league shows this year.
Yes, 32 wellness. 32 IFBB pro shows. That's a lot.
That's a lot. It's a lot. So the girls, a couple of them are already started qualifying, and even before the year was out, had won that title and qualified to be on that stage. And I know Giselle, is it Machado?
Machado, yeah.
Yeah, she won Monterey Pro. And then we had Juliana. She actually competed in 2 shows. The Mr. Big Evolution and Big Man Weekend, she walked away with first place, so twice. So that means took away some points also from somebody, right? Because that's the next way to get there is by points. Cassandra Gillis, she won the Toronto Pro. She's on her way. Sunny Andrews, she's on her way.
Yeah.
So
it looks like it's going to be a very, very exciting season. So I'm very, happy to see what's going to happen. I'm looking eager to see what's going to happen. Everybody's keeping an eye on this division. So 2022 is going to be rich and beautiful. Yeah.
Fabulous.
But we're going to take a little break right now, and we're going to come back with a special guest on the topic of wellness. So you guys stay close. And we are back with our new episode of FemFlex Friday, talking about wellness, and we are ready to reveal our secret guest, Linda.
Drum roll. JM Manion. Hey, JM.
Hi, ladies.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
I just got done filming a Road to the Arnold here at the NPC Photo Gym with Jourdain Lee.
That is pretty amazing. It's amazing. So we are really happy that you had time for us.
Yeah.
Days I was filming Eureka Ayala and Barbara Caesar, Bobby Manu on Instagram. So
yeah,
we on this here the last 2 days.
Right. Okay.
That's spot on. It's like fits into our topic, right?
Yes, right. Spot on. We talked about wellness and how awesome the division has been as far as the introduction, the way NPC introduced it, and then the first time at the Olympia, and we said, who could we invite to talk about wellness? And you're the first person that came to mind, JM. And you know why, right? Do you know why you're the first person that came to mind?
My father's hand on this.
Yeah. And just your story about, from what I hear, you have a special awareness of the importance of the wellness division and what it is to the women. So
well, when I first saw it in Colombia in 2018, I originally thought, like a lot of people's misconception, that wellness was just out of shape bikini or figure competitors.
Yes.
And seeing it in person was like, wow, okay, now I completely understand that. And we've been talking to my father about it, but he was like, I haven't seen it, I don't get it. But it wasn't, like, you figure Tamer and Terry Gilguindi, of course, being from Brazil, have been talking it up for quite a while. Tim Gardner, a bunch of people, actually going to the Arnold Amateur in Brazil in April of 2019. And I took a video, I stood up and took a 180 video of my phone behind me to show my father the audience at the wellness prejudging. So I sent it on WhatsApp, and he goes, oh, is that the audience for the pro men's bodybuilding? I go, no, this is for the wellness model search.
Wow.
There was, to the end of that expo, at the back, men had women, their girlfriends or wives, sitting on their shoulders so that they could see the stage.
Really?
It was that, yes.
Wow.
And I was the importance. I said, here we just have a wellness model search. They're not even part of the truly part of the organization. And of the 600 competitors amateur competitors in that contest, 106 were in that wellness model search.
Wow. 106
competitors in one contest.
The Arnold Amateur Brazil, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, now I remember a conversation that we had, JM, where we talked about your daughter and
Yeah.
her physique, and how you had the conversation with her grandfather in regards to her physique and this division, and how you
Yes.
could so tell us about that.
Like, obviously, neither Tyler or Cassie can compete, but
Right.
I've always said, Tyler being a wrestler his entire life, he could put on board shorts and be a men's physique competitor.
That's right.
But Cassie, with her genetics, 17 years of soccer and everything, she wouldn't fit into a bikini or figure. She would absolutely be wellness.
Yes, because she has the lower body and the small waist, and then upper body narrow. So it's not like she doesn't put on extreme muscle at the top, but she's a full figure. Her legs, she wasn't going to diet those thighs down, right? To be a bikini size 2.
She outlifts a lot of the boys there.
That's right. She's definitely not a size 2. She's an athlete.
So there's definitely a body type for women. It's definitely there. So I find it amazing that we found a place on stage for it.
Yes. Well, what was a cute little story was after the Olympia, after we had done our interview with Francielli after she had won. Cassie didn't get a chance to meet her when she came to the gym to do her road to the Olympia. So Francielli's like pointing, she's like, "Is that Cassie?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, all the other girls are right. She is wellness."
Oh yeah, definitely. I think you guys, I know you've done such a great job of finding a place for all of us to compete. I mean, starting with just from bodybuilding to thinking every time there was a new division, I thought, okay,
like how they said the men's bodybuilding was the basis for everything that came afterwards. Men's physique, classic physique. And it's the same in the women's division. Without women's bodybuilding, we wouldn't have all these other divisions.
That's right. We appreciate you for that. You guys, I'm telling you, keep it real. You've always loved on women bodybuilders and treated us with mad respect. So we'll forever love you for that.
Well, Linda, you exemplified everything that we were doing back then. So
yeah, thank you.
I mean, come on, you're the only one to win 6 Olympias, take a break and come back and kick butt for 2 more.
I know, man. Woo, that I'm most proud of.
Right.
Definitely amazing. Definitely amazing.
Current crop of competitors at the time. Everybody thought you were nuts.
I know, right? And that's why I didn't tell very many people, because I kind of was like, I had to make sure I was not nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you were, but in a good way.
Because of course, 5 years retired to come back. It's Please don't embarrass yourself, Linda. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So
we were just talking about, last year, the way the season started, where we started with Angela winning Pittsburgh, right? And then Yarishna winning New York, and they were right behind each other. So as the season going, we were betting that Yarishna would win or Angela. They were the queens in the beginning of the season, right? So we know what happened at the Olympia. Yarishna came a little softer, but did you see Francielle having the possibility to fight for that first position through the season?
I saw Ellie in that Arnold Amateur Brazil in 2019.
Okay.
And pulls together for wellness. I had gathered 300 pictures from the different wellness model searches that we had put on down in South America. Sat with my father and Tyler to pick the pictures to use as demonstrations for the different poses they did. And I said, this back pose, there's no one else. There's no argument about this. This is the picture for the back pose. And it was Francielli from that contest. Her picture is on the website as from the back pose.
Wow.
And then in the Arnold Amateur also.
You get to go to all the shows and see everything. See the first.
If you weren't in Brazil or if you weren't in Columbus, you wouldn't really know who she is. But I mean, she was good back then, and I know that she hadn't come to America again since the Arnold Amateur, but when we were at the USA Championships last year, and Tamer Elgindi was going to Brazil for 6 weeks to put on a bunch of contests and oversee everything. And I said, Tamer, I have one job for you. I go, get Francielli to come to Pittsburgh secretly to do a road to the Olympia without anybody knowing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I said, she's going to be at one of those contests that you're at. And so he saw her. He got on the phone with that and translated, and we set it up so that when she left quarantine, she came right to Pittsburgh. And everyone, if you look back at her story at the time, she just said leaving quarantine from Mexico, everybody assumed she was going to fly right to Orlando. They didn't know that she was going to show up in Pittsburgh.
Wow. Oh, you devised a little scheme over there.
Yeah. Debbie took a picture of me next to her in front of the wall with the double bicep logo, and it was just Francielli doing her back pose. And I put it out there, and I just said, you just never know who's going to show up in front of the wall here at the NPC photo gym. Posted it on Instagram, and it just went viral because everybody, like, they knew it was Francielli, and they were just shocked that she was in Pittsburgh and nobody knew.
Yeah.
All my friends, why didn't you tell me? I go, that's why it's a secret.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want them showing up here.
Yeah, she has amazing from the rear, like just amazing. We just did an article, and we were looking at photos. We were going to post some old photos, and I found the one of Francielle, and I was like, oh my goodness, this says it all. Everyone will read this article just based on that pose. Just amazing. So
yeah, on the IFBB Pro League Instagram page, her posing routine video that we posted from Gilco Productions that were working for us, that 1 minute clip generated over 500,000 views.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is
that's impressive.
Person that beat her in numbers was Chris Bumstead's video.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
So she's the second most viewed next to Chris Bumstead, which is saying a lot.
That says a lot. That says a whole lot.
There's definitely a lot of eyes on the wellness division nowadays, and I have to say that it is fascinating. We, as a matter of fact, what are we expecting from this season? We have 32 pro shows, right, JM? This coming year. What do you anticipate out of it?
Well, I think a lot of promoters last year. The reason we went with the two. Because there wasn't that many contests. And I think a lot of promoters were sitting back because they wanted to see what happened with it, what it was about. So it came about last year that the top two qualified for the Olympia I was in this office. My dad was sitting here, and Tyler and I were over there. And I said, hey, what happens if Urishna decides to get in like four consecutive contests, say Pittsburgh, New York, Milwaukee, and at going to be Toronto. I said, if she wins every one of them, I go, what are we going to do for points? I said, she can blaze through and win every contest, and we won't have enough women on stage. I said, great if we could have 15 to 20 competitors in that first Olympia. I think that would be respectable. So we came up with doing the top two just for the first year to get the people to the Olympia, which we had 24 qualify, which worked out. 4 of them couldn't make it on stage because of the travel restrictions. So we ended up having the number of 20, which I thought was really good.
That was a great plan. I mean, you guys planned that out, nicely.
Well, it was funny because as we're talking about it, so my dad picks up the phone and calls Dan, and Dan calls Jake. So we've got this multi-phone conversation with all of us here. And, as soon as they gave us the thumbs up, it was all go, And they understood whenever I explained it to them. We want to have a good number. We didn't want to have like a single-digit number of competitors in that first Olympia. We wanted to make it exciting.
Yeah, this division's it's
the pre-judging, right?
You said, repeat that?
I said you saw the pre-judging crowd at the Olympia Expo for the wellness, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was packed. Oh yeah.
It was. It is. Yeah. It's such a spectacular division.
So we're excited. It'll be on the big stage. All of the women, all 6 divisions this year at the Olympia. So that's going to be exciting.
Going back on the history of whenever a new division is introduced at the Olympia, it usually just stays on the expo stage for like 2 or 3 years. This is the quickest that a new division has jumped from the expo stage to the main stage.
Oh yeah.
But I'm fine, don't you?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm gonna tell you, I was just like floored and just so enjoying, just as a spectator, the structures of the women and really understanding you guys, your vision. Like,
Well,
you know?
and when we wrote the rules, the very first line says that it's an athletic physique. It's somebody when you talk to these women, almost every one of them was an athlete their entire life. Of course, the majority of them were soccer players.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But I remember being down in Brazil, and I asked Tarek El-Gindi, I go, these tall women, these women that are 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", how did they build up their legs? Because basketball is not going to do it, right? So I said they had to have played some type of sport, whether it be track and field or whatever. And every single one of them that he asked said that they played beach volleyball since they were young kids.
Oh, really?
So think about jumping up and down in the sand every day.
Right. That's my first thought. Like, oh, okay. I know I don't like running in the sand and
Right, but
it's
that
not
just
easy.
when they said that, it made perfect sense.
Yeah, it does.
But how do you see it evolving? Do you think that the girls might get too big? The quads, the glutes might get too big at some point? Do you think there's a danger?
The judges will handle that.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely. That's how you do that. But I would think that normally that is the tendency with every sport, right? When you train, the muscle grows. So.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that these women, most of them already had a natural muscular base from the sport.
Yes,
being in
absolutely.
sports.
Absolutely.
So, and when you talk to most of them, they were already incorporating some form of weight training along the way.
Yeah, and I was just really pleased to see their upper body, the muscularity in their upper body, because they just look really firm and fit. So I know they do some type of resistance training, push-ups or something. I mean, it's not like their body's lopsided. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. It's beautiful and it's flowing.
Yeah,
Yes, I
it
agree.
really is.
And everybody kind of knew that. But I mean, like, there's people that we've met in this past year where even my father said some of his friends, people that had just kind of peripherally follow the sport. And he goes, and these friends of his will go, hey, how about that wellness division? My dad's like, how do you know about that? He's like, oh, those women are amazing.
Oh, they are.
So, just the general people that you wouldn't even think would know about wellness, and even the name, what wellness means, know about it. It has progressed that quick.
Well, we want to thank you so much for your time, JM, and for sharing your knowledge with us and the tips, because you always have really good tips in the industry and in particular about this division. So thank you so much for sharing your time and your knowledge. And it was an honor to have you here, and we're happy that we got you. And we'll see you down the road, I guess, in a couple of months or so.
Thank you again, JM.
Okay, well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
And thank you guys for being here with us today, for another episode of FemFlex Friday, this time for wellness. We'll see you on our next episode in a week. Don't miss it.
That's right.